Competition law can be a bit of a minefield. Nicola Lynch will be asking Bernardine Adkins how we can steer a safe path through that minefield.
What are the competition rules that in-house lawyers need to know when drafting a contract?
The main one is what we call Article 101 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union. For you, that's the old Article 85 of the EC Treaty, which then became Article 81.
How does Article 101 work?
It's got three elements to it. The first is a basic and rather crude prohibition that applies to agreements which have restrictions of competition within them, which have to affect trade between EU member states and which also must affect competition to what we call an appreciable degree. Once the prohibition applies, the contract or parts of the contract will be unenforceable. And the way you pull yourself out of that prohibition is either the agreement may benefit from block exemption. We have block exemptions for what we call vertical restraints, such as distribution agreements, or, for example, technology transfer agreements.
Bernardine, you mentioned that rule numbers have changed. What substantive changes have there been?
And in recent years, the Commission have adopted what they call the new approach. And it really is about appreciating the application of the contract in the economic context in which we find it. And simply to look at a contract nowadays in the abstract, you only get half the picture, if that. It's a little bit like a patient showing the doctor a pimple and saying, "What disease have I got, doctor?" That's simply not enough. You have to appreciate the whole context of the contract in order to ascertain whether there will be an issue with the competition rules.
So what do people need to be looking out for now?
People must be careful not to be complacent about the application of the competition rules. Experienced lawyers will remember the old days with the block exemptions, where those block exemptions really crafted how contracts looked, where you would cut and paste what they called the white clauses. Things have changed a good deal. There's a good deal more flexibility now as to whether the competition rules apply in the first place, whether or not they actually do restrict competition to an appreciable degree. If it's not the case, then the competition rules don't apply.
So what tips do you have for in-house lawyers?
I would really say to in-house lawyers, take a pragmatic and commercial approach to competition law. Obviously avoid hardcore restraints, but it's a bit of a cliche, but I think it applies. Don't let the competition law tail wag the commercial dog.